What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Empire Recap Show for Collider Video. We are back once again to talk everything Empire. We just saw the last episode. We're very excited to get it going. You guys need to wake up. I feel like you guys should be more excited because we just
I'm here.
Okay, now that we got them going, all for you. I'm Tamara, Dhia. We're going to go around the table really quick and introduce my beautiful co-host, starting with the lovely Quinn to my right.
Hey guys, I'm Quinn Marie, and there's nothing more that I want to do right now than talk about episode 2 of Empire.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Courtney Perdue,
Or
and
episode
I'm
3, maybe.
Episode 3 is what I meant.
Hey, everyone. I am Courtney Perdue, and I am excited to talk about all the new music we got in this episode. I know I have some haters on this table for the music, but, you know.
Well, hi guys, I'm Jamiah Brown. I'm back from last week. Super excited. Listen, I'm ready to talk about the power struggles that are going on right now in this empire. It's so real.
Yeah, so speaking of power struggles, we enter this new episode, number 3.
You're not living that down today, Quinn. You're not living that down.
That's my B. I'm sorry about that.
We enter episode 3 with Lucious Lyon back on the streets. Free Lucious.
Free at last, free at last.
Thank God.
Oh.
Thank God Almighty.
No, I didn't want to go that far.
Yeah.
Well,
He was calling himself God on that.
Speaking of which, he called himself God. Verbatim, he said, "Blasphemy, I'm a god." So say it. Not the place to hold back, Courtney.
Next time.
Yeah, there we go. We know you don't like to hold back. So as we were saying, we had a huge power struggle. I mean, always the forever going power struggle between Cookie and Lucious. So Lucious is back, and right away we know that he's coming for Lyon Dynasty. What do you guys think about Lucious being free again? How are we feeling about him out of the prison? Do you guys miss him in prison?
No, he needs to be out of prison.
Yeah,
I'm happy
Lucious
about
totally needed to be out of prison. We needed to see him out on the streets and being dirty like he really is, playing dirty, playing hard.
And he's always on his game. Like, we always know that something's going to go down when Lucious is around. Ooh. Look at me. I could join Empire. But he was doing all this great stuff from jail, you know, putting out hits, getting music out. So it'll be interesting to see what he's going to do now that he's out of jail, seeing the kind of power that he had when he was there.
And also, right away in the beginning of the episode, we see Cookie still doesn't have complete control over her family. She can't control Hakeem. She can't control the girl group. They totally disrespected her right away. So we're kind of seeing that she still doesn't have control. And now that he's out, it's even more so he's going to take over. Like, I feel confident in that.
Right. So let's tackle that a little bit, because they open up the episode essentially in the studio with Hakeem, who is now trying to start this girl group
Called what? I'm sorry. What's the
Mirage et Trois?
Mirage et Trois.
I mean, I don't even know if that's better than
Menage
Rainbow
a Trois,
Sensation.
Rainbow Sensation.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all whack.
He needs to work on his.
He's not a name guy.
Right.
He spits out words real fast, but he doesn't think it through.
Fix it, Cookie.
Well,
He
that's
won't let her do
that's
it.
the thing. I mean, that's the issue
Right.
right now, is this power struggle between
Right.
Hakeem and Cookie. Like him trying to kind of be like, "Mom, let me do my thing," and her trying to kind of, as you said, take the reins, but she's losing her grasp.
It's not happening.
That was real subtle, though. It's not quite a mom, let me do my thing. It's mom, let me do my thing. 'Cause,
Right.
you know, he's trying to be like.
You're
a
right.
cool-
I needed to turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit. That's
Yeah,
what
you're
Hakeem
right.
does.
Yeah.
He's a spoiled child.
Yeah. What do we guys think about Mirage et Trois? Mirage et Trois. I don't know why I felt
feel
them
like
do that with
they're
a French accent.
I mean, I said it earlier. I feel like they're the knockoff, like either 3LW or just like a super
Kind of a-
knockoff 90s.
I said they were
girl.
like the ghetto cheetah girls.
Or a little bit of a broke Fifth Harmony.
Yeah,
Right.
a
broke
broken
ass Fifth Harmony.
Yes,
The minor third chord, third harmony.
yes.
What was the joke she said? You
Oh.
don't even have a C major between your leg or something. What was she saying?
Yeah,
You
she-
couldn't find a C major if it was between
She's
your
like,
legs.
I know
something
it's
like
not
that.
there.
It's
Yeah.
like,
So Valentina, Becky
G.
back in the house and causing crazy trouble. So obviously she's sleeping with Hakeem. She has no respect whatsoever for Cookie, even though Cookie tries to like give her a few jabs. Like,
what did Cookie say? Oh, now you want to sing, bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah. She told her to get back on the mic because she was over there with filing her nails.
well, and then it was like Hakeem being like, "Baby, please, like, can you please do this
That-
for me?"
Which I
That's
didn't
when you knew.
understand.
Yeah.
That
'Cause
moment made
there
me
was no control
sick.
in that situation.
Yeah.
Wait, why did it make you sick, Courtney?
Because we talk about Cookie not having control, and Hakeem's like, "Oh, mom, let me do this. This is my thing," but he doesn't even have control. Valentina was running that situation, as we will find out later. Till the end, she's running the situation.
Oh yeah. Well, you can definitely tell that she is you know, she knows what she wants, what she's out for. Clearly, Cookie, we know Cookie can see right through people. She could see in the beginning when she first came in and she saw the relationship between Hakeem and Valentina, and she's like, listen, this little girl's running circles around you, blah, blah, blah. And then later on, we do come to see that she really is.
I almost wonder, though, if Cookie getting involved kind of set that relationship off in a weird way a little bit, because she does make that statement to her that, yeah, you're sleeping with my son now, but you need to bring it when we go do our performance in the morning, because if you don't, you're going to be known as the one that slept her way to the top.
Right.
So is that a matter of her going oh, damn, everyone knows I slept with Hakeem, so let me go, you know, do what I do so that everyone will think I did it on my own, since she eventually leaves and heads over to Lucious. But
Right. So let's talk about this plot line, because, I mean, did you guys see this coming? Did you see that
Always.
Valentina?
Yeah.
Right.
You saw that she was going to leave
Drop her
Lyon
girls.
and then go
Yeah.
to Empire.
Yep.
Definitely.
Can we talk about the weird interaction that we saw with Valentina and Lucious? Was that weird? Was
they
that,
like to make her look like, as I put it before, a baby hooker.
Yes.
Right.
I'm getting real tired of seeing her look young and inappropriately positioned next to these guys. Yes, I don't like it. She looks way too young.
Well, that was Cookie calling it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, babe.
I was just going to say that Cookie called it with that situation, and then I feel like this is Lucious's way of getting back at Hakeem personally because of him sleeping with Anika
Yep.
and the whole, you know, just the drama behind that. So Lucious, he's calculated. He knows exactly what he's doing at all times.
He's 10 steps ahead of everyone
Yes.
all the time.
If I didn't like Becky G's character Valentina on the show so much, I almost would have wished that he hadn't converted her, as opposed to like breaking her down and getting her to go away, because it was kind of a repeat of the whole Marissa Tomei thing. He's
Right.
always let me bring you to my side, let me bring you to my side. It's like, can you just take somebody down? That's the Lucious we like
Well,
to
no,
see.
that's a good point. I mean, it's verbatim a repeat of what happened with Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
I mean, they were courting this girl. They're trying to build their company on the back of this girl, essentially. And then Lucious comes in and swipes her out from underneath them. And also, shoot, I just had a good point. I lost it.
Oh,
I was so
the
excited
worst.
talking about Lucious and
You lost it like
Valentina.
Cookie loses the
I
Martis.
did. Damn, I just lost the show. Like Cookie just lost her entire thing.
No, it does go to show that time and time again, Lucius is always calculating, manipulative, ahead of everyone, and that's why he's the most dominant character, and I think he keeps proving that, and they keep giving him opportunities to do that. I think that's why they're repeating a lot of things, because they want to show it doesn't matter what goes on. Like, they can try different ways, they can try, you know, different alliances. He always comes through. So
Right. So I remember what I was going to say.
Yes.
What I was going to say was when he walked into the studio, when they were going to go and perform for Sway in the morning, and then obviously kind of pulls the carpet out from underneath them, he says, "You guys must have forgot who I am. Don't act brand new." And it's true. It's like they're forgetting who they're dealing with, essentially. I mean, he reminded them from prison. And now he's reminding them now that he's back on the streets.
Can we
like,
also?
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
wait, no.
I was just
Do what you got to do.
I was just gonna say really quickly, sorry to cut you off, I'm really kind of upset that Cookie, I mean, I understand her wanting to build the Lyon Dynasty and everything, but with Lucious saving her ass in jail, excuse my language, but saving them, the family in jail, you think when he come out, they'd have a little bit more respect for what he did, you know,
Yeah.
with the situation with Chris Rock and his character.
Does she know that, though? Does Cookie know?
I mean, she went to him
the
for it,
jail.
so he's
Yeah.
got to know.
No, I know she went to him for it, but does she
Right.
know that, like, that's how it went down? Like, does she know that he's
Remember,
dead?
she came home. She's like, "It's taken care of. It's
yeah,
done."
she must
Yeah.
know.
So
Right.
it's like you don't have enough respect, or maybe that's just bad writing.
I think she
Well,
just
there
thinks
was-
that he owes her that and then some.
Because she did
That's
go
a
to
good
jail
point.
for
I mean,
him
Yeah,
for
she gave
15
him,
years.
yeah, she gave
or
him
what-
16
yeah,
years
16
Right.
of her life,
Yeah.
you know, and he essentially like kind of embezzled all this money out from underneath her because the empire was built on the foundation of her money.
Right.
And
So
he just
she-
would not let her back
yeah,
in.
so
Right.
it's like it's almost like I feel like maybe she felt like she was owed that.
Which is why she got up at the table and pulled everyone's food
Yeah, so-
off with her.
She was done.
let's talk about this. I mean, I feel like this is kind of also becoming a recurring theme, like him kind of gathering the entire family together just for it to kind of blow up in their faces. So at the dinner, Lucious kind of tries to hand over the olive branch or whatever the
Extend the white flag a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But not
Sort of
really, because
make
it's more like,
effort.
do
But
what
not
I tell you to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's basically like, you know, to get rid of the Lyon Dynasty and I'll forget everything. And even Cookie was like, "You're really gonna forget everything." Like she's not acting brand new.
She's not playing.
Right.
So obviously Cookie was not having it. Andre, let's talk about Andre. I mean, I feel
that
like
was one of the most confusing things in the
There
show.
was no consequences in this episode for what happened before. Like, none at all.
Right.
Well, the whole Andre thing, it's like he's trying so hard. Like, Lucious has the dinner. He's offering some sort of peace offering, but not to Andre, or not Andre solo. Like, I didn't understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point. I mean, I feel like like you said, like he's essentially saying, oh yeah, all is forgiven except for you.
Yeah.
And I'm actually surprised Rhonda said nothing in that entire moment. I know that it was a family affair, but technically she's family.
She's
And she
family.
was the one going to Jamal, like, please let him back into
Yeah.
the company. Going to Andre, you need to take what's yours.
Yeah.
She would lay it out, and she said nothing. She sat there and covered her, literally
Right.
covered her face as Cookie ripped the food off the table.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
What was that all about?
Inconsistencies, definitely.
What do you think, Jamiah?
Well, I was actually thinking about went in and kind of flew out just a second ago, but I was thinking about the moment when Lucious was talking to Andre about, the child, and he's like, you're not concerned about, the child's mental health, and then he went into the flashback with him and his mother, and I just, clearly there's the connection there, but we know that Lucious has not shared that to Andre, that his mother actually was bipolar.
He hasn't shared that with anyone.
No, he hasn't shared that with anyone. And I think because of whatever the trauma that it took him through as a child, obviously, is keeping him from, or perhaps making him punish Andre as a result of, what he went through as a child with his mom, and the fact that he still hasn't talked to and no one knows about it. Clearly there's the connection there. We just have to tap into it a little bit more.
I think that's a great point. I think essentially he's kind of maybe sees the fault of his mother in Andre and kind of wants to keep it away because he knows how far that hole can lead.
But it's weird too, because like, even though Andre has his medication to kind of keep his mentality in check and his bipolar disorder in check, I feel as though part of the reason that it set off in the first season was all of the back and forth and all the craziness that was going on.
Right.
And now Lucious is kind of playing both sides with him, like, you can't be involved, but you can be involved, but you have to bring me something no one else can. I said, are you trying to set him off?
Right.
Because
that's what it feels like.
You can't, he's like trying to pick and choose what he wants from Andre or from the family. It's like, that's in my notes that I have family highlight because I just kept writing it over and over again. The family dynamic in this episode changes so much. And it was really confusing. It was entertaining, but it was a little bit confusing. It was a little bit hard to follow.
you don't know who's aligned with who or who's friends with
or
who,
who's going to change
hating
their
who.
mind
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Well, I think that was the point, really, is like, I don't think they want the audience to know where people are really standing. Like right now, the only clear division we see is Cookie
And
and
Lucious.
Lucious. And everyone else is kind of like a puzzle piece that's like kind of sifting over the line. Like anyone could be taken, including Anika, who Lucious approached and tried to kind of get her to side with him, and then she, in a surprising move, went to Cookie and told her about it and was like, no, my ultimate goal is to hurt Lucious. Like,
Was that
what can we
surprising
do?
though? I think Boo Boo Kitty got something on her sleeve. I feel like that's
That
part
we
of her
don't know
plan
about.
Yeah.
to get not back at Lucious but back at Cookie. Like, she's actually going to help him out all along. I think it would be a bitch move on her part to do that, but she could do that.
Oh, so you think that she went to Cookie still with the intention of going back to Lucious?
Yeah, like she told Cookie what Lucious wanted to do. Like maybe that wasn't really what he was planning to do,
we
but
didn't
that would get
finish
Lucious Cookie's plan going. Because as it is, he could have told Anika, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy this radio station," which, by the way, no one knew he did, and that should be all over the media. But I digress.
Right.
Right.
But that
Like,
could
it'd be
have
a
been part
huge
of the
thing
whole
that he
plan
did that, right.
altogether. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it was also set up for Hakeem's, epic performance with Timbaland, which I think we need to discuss because it was awesome.
We will.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
we
was.
What do you think, Jamiah?
I just think it's awesome that we finally got to see Timbaland, and I feel like the song that he was featured on is a great representation of his music, and I feel like it was a breath of fresh air. For the first time, I really
This season,
enjoyed a
definitely.
song
Yeah.
from Empire, from this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about
Damn,
the music.
y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry.
Courtney.
I mean, we're just keeping it real,
Yeah,
Courtney.
I know.
We
I
keep it all
know.
the way 100 here, and that doesn't mean that we're gonna suck up to Empire and say we loved every song, because we don't.
Timbaland
But-
kept it 100 on that
He
track because that
does.
was his
Yeah.
track.
Yeah,
I
but
love
it
it
was a
all.
great track.
It was.
So again, this concert, basically the Welcome Back Lucious, is essentially for them to promote Jamal and Pitbull's track, which you loved.
I do love, and we all know that's going to hit number 1 on iTunes first thing in the morning because
Yeah.
Pitbull's on it. And that's what
I know,
happens.
We've
right?
had that talk.
You need a hit, put Pitbull on it.
Yeah.
Pitbull,
When in
top
doubt.
10, ready
But
to
then
go.
You need a hit,
Cookie-
put the pit. Hey. Okay, done. Sorry.
He comes with them every
All right.
week.
So basically, this was a Cookie's plan was to come in and overtake it. And actually, we were talking. You mentioned the power plays of all the people and how you don't know. Like, it's the first time that you don't know who has the power in the family. I feel like this was the first time that we saw Hakeem shine brighter than Jamal.
Yep.
So for the last season and 3 episodes now into the second season, Jamal has always kind of been the bright musician in the family, whether they wanted to see it or not, and now finally they do. And this is the first time where Hakeem really shined on his own with Timbaland's help.
With Timbaland.
Timbaland's
help.
But I mean, he did. He shined on his own, and now he's kind of like doing his own thing. I mean, well, he had the girl group.
Well, I was gonna say, let's keep it all the way real. Jamal was doing great when he had Cookie managing him. Now that Cookie is doing her thing with Hakeem, he's getting all the shine. And I think that is a testament to show how important Cookie is to the empire, to the music industry in general within the show, because she just has that natural knack, that natural talent to bring talent alive.
She knows her music.
She knows the music. And also, too, this brings another point to me, where at the end where Jamal had to go, where he was ready to go and see Becky, the assistant, she was the one who brought it to his attention. Like, you were fine when you had Cookie. You need to go talk to her. You need to, hash this out. So, there's the power within that too.
Well, also we saw Jamal kind of shifting because he tried to go back to Cookie just to talk to her. And then we had another episode, or like another window moment where Lucious rolls up in the Bentley and puts down the window.
I'm done with the window shade moments.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the slow motion.
Empire,
like,
somebody didn't roll up in a car.
We need to get little like partition windshields for us. So
should.
every time we
Like,
want to throw some shade at somebody.
we should. Every time we don't agree with what someone says, we're like,
I learned this on Empire.
I know.
Get some tea.
So he basically tries to get Jamal, Jamal was on the fence about whether or not to go to Cookie because Jamal's issue has been that he doesn't feel like he's number one at Empire anymore.
Because he's not being managed anymore, and I think he still needs that. He's ready to run the business, but not ready to run the business and himself. And he doesn't have that management anymore.
Right. Well, I think ultimately he thinks that he gave up his star rising to run Empire, but he wants to be a star, as he put it, a superstar.
Yep.
So, Mr. Window himself rolls up and he's like, gets him in the car and he's like, no, like, you're right. Like, I'm going to produce you. I'm going to manage you and we're going to make this happen. So he kind of like swoops him back out from underneath Cookie, even though she didn't realize that she had him kind of coming back to her.
True.
I still think there's time.
I still want to talk
of
about the
course.
music. This was a very like music heavy episode.
Oh, yeah.
We had Mirage Toi, and then Becky G is solo, and Jamal and Pipple, and Hakeem and Timbaland. I think Hakeem and Timbaland were MVP this episode.
Oh yeah.
Followed by Jamal and Pitbull.
Yeah.
Are we mentioning they changed her character's name?
Yeah, so let's talk
Oh,
about...
yeah, Frida had a track too.
All right, so
Yes.
let's talk about... Well, initially we were introduced to her as Daisy when she was in prison. Chris Rock's daughter, a.k.a. Frank Athers. Why was... we're still so confused by this. Like, we don't understand why they changed her name from Daisy to Frida with no mention whatsoever of a name change.
She seems more like a Frida than a Daisy, though.
She totally does. Well, okay, so also let's talk about Fantasia Loaf.
Fantasia. I was going to say, or Fantasia.
Well, that's when-
So I don't know if you guys have been on Twitter since Empire has the episode just ran.
Don't
but
lie, you know you all have.
Okay, you're
all
definitely on
know.
Twitter. I was just trying to give you, I was trying to
Benefit
give
of
you
the
an out,
doubt.
but we were all on Twitter, obviously. So hashtag Collider Empire. So essentially, the memes are going crazy right now with Frida's character because she looks like a straight up mix of Fantasia and Dej Loaf.
Yes, she does.
I mean, she
Yes.
legit does.
That's the first thing we said when she came on screen.
Yeah.
We are all like, Fantasia?
Yeah.
And she has Fantasia's haircut. Just
Yeah.
saying.
And
It's not the cut for her. We need to fix that. It'll come
Yeah.
with her makeover when she joins
Definitely.
Empire.
I hope they don't make her over too much though, because I like the
The thug mentality.
I do, I do.
They're trying to
Thug
sign
life.
her to
She's
Gutter
rugged.
Records.
right. That's what I'm saying. So they're not gonna
Empire.
make her
Right.
poppy, like
No.
exactly. So they're trying to sign her to the subsect, which is Gutter Life Records.
Right.
What do you
Gutter
guys?
Life.
Yeah. So and then there's this huge, there's like a rap battle in the hood, which turns into
A gunfight.
it turns into your girl pulling out a gat and trying to like pop a few into your boy's
Is there
body.
ever a
Lucious
rap battle in
saving
the show
her.
that's just a straight rap battle?
No, because
Jamal had one with Black Rambo and went
Right.
from rapping to singing, and now
Right.
she's having one with this rando and went from rapping to shoot 'em up.
well, the reason why she pulled out the gun was because he had that line about her father and his
Yep.
brains being blown out. So
Low blow.
understandable.
I guess I
It's
guess
a
I
low
can let her have
blow,
it a
but then
bit.
your boy Lucious jumps in and
Right
kinda-
on time.
Yeah, exactly. Right on time, jumps in and saves the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
his
Despite the
peoples.
fact that he could have been taken back to prison if he was
He
caught
could
out there.
parole.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. Well, that's what one of his security was saying. He was like, or no, was Thirsty
Thirsty.
Day? Yeah,
Thirsty.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, it was worth it for
thirsty.
him because he needs her that badly. That's how much he loves her. Like
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was saying, like
he
she's-
believes.
yeah.
He believes in Fantasia.
He believes in Fantasia love.
Yeah.
He believes in Fantasia Arena.
Fantasia low. Right.
What do you guys think is going to happen with her character? Because obviously they're pinning a huge plot around her.
Well, Breezy. Breezy is her real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's
BREZ.
Z.
Yeah. Breezy.
I think. I mean, she's good. She's got a cool sound. She's got a really cool voice. I like her.
I'm not feeling it yet. Like,
Courtney.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling. I'm not feeling Frida yet. Big Frida, whatever you want to call her. She's.
I'm
Her-
surprised.
You're surprised? Oh, just because I like all the music.
Yeah, because you literally like every single thing.
But
and
I'm
then
more of a fan of the singing in the music and like the melodic rap, and she
Right.
doesn't have that. Hers is like that
Right.
spoken word,
Right.
and I'm not vibing with that yet. So you know,
Jamiah.
Hard. She was hard, but hardcore.
she's a little rough around the edges.
She's a little rough around the
a
edges.
little.
For me, because when we originally saw her character, she came off as more meek and mild.
Yeah.
Whereas tonight, she's like Jamal called her this ghetto hood rat, but it wasn't done well enough. Like I didn't believe her as a ghetto hood rat.
It was ghetto light.
Yeah, it was ghetto light. So
Diet ghetto.
Right. It's gonna take some time to build, but she ran away. Looking back at Lucious, so we know that obviously she's gonna be calling Lucious soon.
I'm still completely confused at the 180 they've done with her character in the span of one episode or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because when we met her, she was this sweet little girl.
I mean, maybe
Daisy
it was
is meek
because
and
she was
mild.
in front of her father at the time. I mean, if that's what they want to run with.
I don't
but
know. Her dad is Frank Gathers.
That's
That
what I'm
dude is
saying.
not.
You're hard.
Yeah,
You're hard.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no.
But also
shift
with
in
that, for her to be as hard as she was, you would think like her big thing is like, oh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get out the streets. You're gonna help me.
Right.
But she was not ready to sign unless it was with Lucius. Even when Becky was like, oh, I came from the hood too. He gave
Right.
me an opportunity. We can do
Okay,
great things.
Yeah.
Oh, you got something to say about Becky?
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Becky?
No, I like Becky, but it was just random that she's like, I'm from such and such too. So, girl.
Well, it wasn't random because that chick was like, "You don't know where I'm from," and then she was like, "Yes, I do. I'm from there too."
Right, I
Yeah.
get that. But my point is that I mean, I get that she's changed her whole image and she works for Empire and everything.
Yeah.
But realistically, listening to her talk, would you have ever thought Becky grew up in the hood?
I mean, Anika could have grown up in the hood too. We know she came from a little rich family, but I don't
Right.
know what she went through.
True.
But I understand what you're saying because I
Yeah.
can
You know
get
who
with
I
that a little
think
too.
grew up
Doesn't
in the
give me
hood
that.
on the low?
Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Oh,
all
most
day.
definitely. Right. Yeah.
Rhonda. Really,
Always.
yeah, really interested about what's going to happen with her too.
Because she didn't do much anything in this
Nothing.
episode.
She
Featured in
was
this
so
episode.
boring. Like, what is up with
She's
that?
pregos, pregnant ladies.
They're the craziest ladies.
They're
The
crazy because they get
craziest
more.
ladies.
More
The
sorry to
emo-
pregnant
the
women
emotion.
watching, but
We're still
they're
saying
more,
she's
they're more
pregnant. I'm
hormonal.
sorry.
Right. Right.
She's pregnant.
I need to see a bump.
The bump is
sorry.
coming.
I have to see a bump.
They're molding it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, we don't see a bump, but we know there's a boy that
Yeah.
they're having a boy. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are they? That's
A
smart.
little lion.
Okay, so
Simba.
So let's
What?
talk about this: the heir to the throne, and Cookie telling Andre that he should use that because the entire episode we're seeing the push and pull between Lucious and Andre essentially begging for his father to let him back into Empire.
So sad.
Really sad. It's kind of pathetic. But Cookie was like, "Yo, use the baby because he wants an heir. That's a grandson. It'll weaken him." And then Andre was like, "No, I'm not going to use my unborn child." And then
He turned right around.
0.2 seconds later, "Hey, Dad, I got something to tell you."
I got this unborn baby.
Yeah.
Gotta use it. Yeah.
What's good with the Empire?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think about what about that entire plot?
I'm still trying to figure that out because if Lucius gave it to Jamal, it really don't matter if Andre had a baby or not because it's Jamal's now.
Well, I don't think he's trying to get the Empire. He's just trying to get his job back.
But the whole point is that Lucious wants an heir, and I feel like the heir would be for the. I mean, I guess he could fire Jamal, put Andre in, and be like, your baby's gonna take over after.
Yeah, but the baby's a baby boy. It's gonna be at least 18 years.
Lucious ain't going nowhere. Remember, his disease got retroacted.
But there's people out for him.
He's playing mind games with all of them because in one moment he's telling, one moment he's upset with Jamal, like, oh, I should have had Hakeem. Hakeem would have signed her. He would have had her, so it's just, that's his way. That's part of his way of keeping, control over the other guys mentally, over each other.
Keeping everyone in check.
Right. Keeping everyone in check. That's his way,
Yeah, I suppose. Andre's like the biggest wild card for me right now. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't know what he's going to do with the Rhonda thing, with the baby thing, with the his tension with the family, like what role he's going to play. I think that he's one of the characters where I'm like, what are they going to do with him? Like,
send him back to church because they keep making those references,
do,
but he has yet
talking
been
about-
to
right,
church.
Right.
They do keep talking about church.
Yeah, I'm curious like when they're going to bring that back up because Lucious has a number of times made references to the church. We haven't seen your girl Jennifer Hudson. So,
Michelle Wyatt.
Although they did bring up her name when they were talking about clients for Empire, so who knows?
It could happen sooner or later, and I
Yeah.
feel like we just need to fall back into that. But
Yeah. Well, I'm curious like where they would go with that anyway.
I mean, he was getting back into, I guess, that kind of healthy state of mind from being involved in church.
Yeah.
And really, it would just be a matter of bringing her in because where's Empire's client list? We need to start dropping some new music if we want to take over again. And she could be the start.
What do you guys think is going to... Okay, so we saw a little bit of the clip of what's going to happen next week. We see the Bunky issue kind of coming back.
We will
see
finally
Vernon.
see them dig up that grave.
Cookie getting arrested and then bringing up the whole Sandra Bland
Right.
Yep.
incident. She's like, if I'm arrested and if I commit suicide or
If I get
find a
killed.
dead
if I
end.
get
Yeah.
killed,
Yeah.
right, I didn't commit suicide.
Yeah.
And
What
I
do you-
think that's great.
What do you guys think
They're talking
about
about that.
them pulling in modern day references into the show?
I love it.
I love it when it's done well. And
Yeah.
typically
Right.
they do a good job
Yeah.
of that
Right.
moment in the episode.
Yeah, it makes it way more relatable.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
and it definitely keeps it current and interesting to watch for everyone because it's what we're dealing with daily.
And it gives people something to pick up on. And even if you're in a room full of people watching it and they don't all get it, it's like, oh shit, did you hear what she just said? It's like,
Right.
no, enlighten me. So what happens? Everyone goes to Facebook, Twitter,
about
whatever,
it.
and then it builds the conversation. And that's what Empire does.
Right. And do you think that's the same reason they use like celebrity name cameo drops? So like even like today they said Azalea Banks and Lil Wayne when they were talking about releasing the album for free. And they, frequently have done that. They've mentioned 50 Cent, they've mentioned Bill Clinton, they commonly bring up modern day celebrities.
Well, that goes into them wanting to, portray themselves as a, real family right now in the business. It's current that, they want it to be 2015.
That's
They
the only
want
show
it to
that
be-
does that right now. I feel
Right.
like the storyline itself is so outlandish and kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
But then they sprinkle in real life things that are happening in real
And that
life
grounds
situations
it.
and real people, and it kind of like brings it back down to people are able to watch that and get involved in the story, but then also be reminded that real things are happening.
And it also makes you feel like the current issues that are actually happening are being heard because it's rare that you get to see, maybe on Scandal sometimes you'll get to see certain incidents, they'll reshoot or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
they'll take it and put a spin.
stuff from off
yeah,
the
they'll
news.
spin
right,
that
and
story.
but what I like about them is that they take real circumstances, things that we are currently dealing with, and really apply them. So it's cool.
And secretly on the low, when they throw in on those celebrity cameos, I think that's a good way of putting out press for those people, but getting those people to realize, like, hey, us here at Empire like you.
Right.
AKA, at some point, do you
you
want to
wanna
show up
come
on
on
the
the
show?
show?
Because if
That's
Azalea
their
Banks
hint.
showed up and had
Right.
some beef with Frida,
True.
I would watch that. I
Azalea
would
Banks
watch
has
that.
beef with every single human in the world.
Exactly. I would watch
She
that.
does.
Legit,
Yeah, she
legit.
does.
That woman
She'd
just
be like,
really
Frida,
loves to-
what's good?
She's
She
got
pulling
some
Nikki.
Twitter fingers.
Yes, her occupation is having beef.
I mean,
That's a good occupation to have.
Yeah,
when you're trying to get
keeps you
noticed.
current,
Yeah.
keeps you in.
shoot, if it gets you a cameo on Empire, why not, right?
Why the hell not?
Wait, who can I start beef with?
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
go. Who wants to fight?
Yeah. You should go after Jamal. Be like, that should have been my role.
I can't do that. I can't do
You love
that.
Jamal.
Too much love for Jamal.
Thank you.
What do you guys think is going to happen in the course of the fight between Lyon Dynasty and Empire? Like, do you think that it's still going to go back and forth? Do you think that Cookie's going to stay strong? Do you think that they're inevitably going to go back to Empire? Like, what do you guys think about this crack? Do you think it's just going to be the course of the entire season is really going to be this main plot?
Ooh.
I honestly don't know.
I think that I think that Lucious is going to be smart enough because Cookie, like she said, you can't keep Cookie down. So, right. So I think Cookie is smart enough to, they're going to have some type of artist or someone come aboard to where it's going to be, I think where Lucious is going to make it where he signs the Dynasty, kind of like Young
Like
Money,
he
Cash
acquires
Money,
them.
Cash Money,
Like
Young Money situation, right? Where it's just like a branch of Empire,
Yep.
essentially, maybe. That's my
Do you think
prediction.
Cookie's going to be okay with that though?
Well, I think that she's gonna need the money eventually. You know, she's gonna need that backing. She's gonna need Empire. Empire they're gonna need each other. I feel,
and that could
it's gonna
kind
get
of
to
be
that.
like a weird backdoor way in for her. It's like, okay, so you buy me now, but then I get involved with your business, and I'm gonna come for you from the inside.
I think like storyline wise, they're gonna build the tension between Lucious and Cookie, and something's gonna happen where they're gonna there's gonna be like a life-threatening situation or something like that, and one of them is gonna save the other one. Probably Lucious saving Cookie, and that's gonna bring them back together.
Because honestly, I have to say, if they're going to keep going back and forth like this, I'm going to get bored.
Me too. It's gonna get old.
Like,
Yep,
I'm just going to get
agreed.
bored. Because right
If
now...
they keep repeating
Yeah,
Marissa
if it's
Tomei,
right.
yeah, if it's constantly like,
Yep.
all right, this is what I want, this is what you have, I'm going to take it out from underneath you by the end of the episode. Next.
Power struggle, underlying
right.
feelings.
Yeah,
of,
it's like at this
love.
point, like it's already episode 3, and I'm already starting to kind of feel the staleness in this fight. So I need them to shake it up for me.
And as a viewer, and I'm sure speaking for other viewers, I feel like people like to see Lucious and Cookie together. You
They
know,
have some really great
united.
scenes.
Right.
Like that
So-
dinner scene had the most power because even though she was sitting there kind of like
yeah,
Yeah.
there was some tension in that moment.
Yeah,
some
ever
good
they're in
tension
the
in that
same room
moment.
together, there's always tension, and it's always one of the best scenes in the episode. In my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
I guess we'll just have to wait to find out.
If
Shall
anything, I
see.
feel like they need to bring another label in that's competing against both of them, and they kind of team up
Common
and take
enemy.
it down.
I see. I like
yes.
that. I
Courtney.
hope they do that. I think it makes it more interesting. Like last year when they had, what was the guy's name? Beretti, was that
Yeah,
the
with
label?
the yep.
Yeah, like that was interesting because it was an opposing label as opposed to like the two of them. And also Lucious constantly talking about the importance of family.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we can't go down if we stay together.
Exactly. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that. But until we see what happens with that, why don't we take some Twitter questions?
Okay.
All right. Twitter, let's go. All right. So from Chris McPherson.
Hey, friend.
I was getting the feeling that Lucious's mom suffers from mental illness, and that's why he shuns Andre. What y'all think? Well, Mr. McPherson, if you had been watching our episodes the last couple times, we've talked about this pretty frequently, that we obviously think that Lucious's mom also suffered from bipolar, and that is why that he looks at Andre kind of in a shunning way, as you mentioned.
I actually think, now thinking back on the flashback that we had in this episode where his mom kind of bought all those presents and had the big party and made the comment, we got to eat, but we can't do that till we take all of these gifts back. It was him in a way thinking about how if Andre were to ever take over and have an episode, he could just let all that money go. There's no way to get that back.
Oh, that's smart.
Like you
That's
can take back the gifts, you can take back the toys, whatever it was she
Right.
got, but Andre can't take back spending all that money, and then that would just end the empire.
Yeah.
True. Well, I mean, if there was any any question about Lucious's mom having bipolar, I mean, it was completely clear.
Very
in this
evident.
episode.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
she has it. That's why he's so distant from Andre. Like it became very, very clear. So I don't know where they're gonna go with that, but if there was a question, it's been answered.
Right.
Do we also think it was clear in this episode that was his mother? Because like we
Yes.
said in the other one, it was a little
it's true.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I feel that I kind of touched on it earlier a little bit. Just with, I definitely feel obviously that Lucious is, in a way, attacking, like you just said. I like your point about how you feel that really, eventually,
Andre would make a mistake based off of that, and that's why Lucious is like, no.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So I just feel that with the whole situation in general, that I'm sorry. I'm just like, I completely lost my train of
okay.
thought.
Girl, we've been doing it all day.
Yes, it just
Like I said, we're losing thoughts like
completely
Empire's losing
flew
artists.
out. Well, I touched on it earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Let us know if it comes back to you, but we'll take another
Yes.
Twitter question.
Jeez, man.
All right. Paul Gaston wants to know, how long do you think Ludacris will last before they kill him off?
I'm sorry, Paul.
I think he's dead.
I think he's dead, Paul.
Yeah.
Again, no bodies.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
dead.
Right. We
He could
have
come
no
back.
absolute confirmation
We need
if
to see
he
m-
is dead or not, but I think the inclination is that he was killed in the episode.
We need to see
previous
more of
this.
those kick-ass kung fu moves, though.
I know.
That was
crazy.
pretty
Luda
awesome.
kung fu.
Yeah.
I love Ludacris, man. I would love for him to continue to be on the show, but at this point,
Yeah.
they're not in prison anymore.
Right.
Exactly.
So the only way I could feasibly see him coming back is if, because there was no body, we don't have proof of his death, that he somehow comes for Lucious out in the real world.
Or,
Let's hope.
wait,
That's
he
actually
could do that, but I think what would be an interesting thing to possibly play is he finds out that these guys that beat him up were connected to Thirsty, who's connected to Lucious, and we get a whole nother court battle because that would bring it all back and be like, oh shit, now
Or
he's
he ends
back
up
on trial.
Right. Or he ends up, getting in cool with the prosecutor.
Oh yeah, and helping
Ooh,
her take
good.
down Lucious.
Yeah, because she's got her eyes on Lucious.
Oh, she
And
wants
w-
him so bad.
And we need to
I
see
think
her
they're
do
gonna.
more
I
than
think
just be
they're
there with
gonna
her boobs
anger
out.
bang.
I agree with
Ooh.
you 100%.
They're
Yeah, they showed a clip of her walking
Yeah.
in next
Yeah.
week and him
Yeah.
He was butt naked in his house.
They're totally gonna anger bang. Sorry,
Oh.
the diversion we've taken from Ludacris and
Sorry,
gone
yeah.
to
I
anger
mean,
banging. But
I
Like you
heard
said.
Yeah.
Anger
that Terrence
banging.
Howard likes to hang out naked at his house. So,
Right.
paying homage.
Yeah. Inevitable.
So someone tells me maybe even in the trailer they got a little something going, but again, that's totally speculation. Next question.
Moving on.
All right. Who do you guys have the largest who do you guys think will have the largest character arc this season? Thanks and keep up the great work. Thanks, QV Landry. We love you.
Thanks for watching.
Who do you? I mean, personally, I think Andre, perhaps.
Yep.
Although, again, he's been a little pathetic lately. So I'm curious.
He's kind of stagnant. He's kind of going in a straight line. I feel like Jamal is still. We kind of had that, but Jamal, he's kind of going in a
I think
up
Hakeem
and down.
might make the biggest change.
It would be nice to see him make the biggest change and go
Right.
from boy to
Man.
not quite man, maybe teenager. But because right now he's still feeling a little
Right, I
young.
feel like they're kind of all in a straight and narrow. I feel like the only one we've seen battle back and forth with things is Jamal. He's going back and forth.
I feel like Hakeem is going to be, because like season 1, it was a lot of Jamal centered
Right,
things.
right.
And I feel like so far in the 3 episodes that we've seen,
bringing it back.
Right.
I'm going to keep mentioning that. It's been a lot of Hakeem focused stories. So I feel
yeah.
like he probably will have the most growth. But story arc, I kind of agree about the Andre thing, like because he's such a wild card, you just don't know what he's going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I
This
think-
is true.
Or maybe Cookie. Because right now we just see her throwing a lot of sass and trying to own her thing, but we've really never dealt with the fact that we know that she's upset with Lucious because he's kind of not let her in, but what was it like for her knowing that he was out for the entire time she was locked up in prison? Now she's out, she's still struggling. What's her family like? We know her sisters are going to make an appearance in the show again. I feel like there could be some interesting things to play with Cookie going forward.
I think with Cookie, like, I love Cookie, but like, I don't think they will take that sass away from her because it's so much a part of the show.
I wouldn't take it away, but
Yeah.
it just might, her dynamic with people could change.
Or what about Lucious? What do you guys think?
Nah, man.
No?
Lucious is staying Lucious.
Yeah.
Lucious is giving me so
solid.
much
He is-
Kanye nowadays with this whole I'm a god situation.
Only one man.
Leave
So much power.
Lizus.
Lizus.
I just titled his next album.
Right.
We need to track whatever album covers get thrown on that screen, because just like in last season when they did like the homage to all the other
Oh, right.
old rappers
Yeah, yeah.
covers,
Oh,
if he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
one that looks like Yeezy,
Yeah.
we
True.
done.
We'll know where we
Called
found that.
that.
I take 10%.
Give me my credit.
Yeah,
I will say,
no,
no,
I'm saying.
Cookie's comic relief is welcomed, and I think it'll just. I've already seen more of it this season. So, and special shout out to her wardrobe this episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Kind of-
know.
What
That
was the
red
rope?
dress.
The rope jammy
Boosty
jam.
A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like she was
LeMay
all,
suit.
I mean, she was like
Feeling
straight out
all
of
of
Mad
it.
Max. It felt like she was like. "Rawr."
The guys
She
were a
was
little
giving
light on
me
the wardrobe,
little-
though.
Well,
Yeah.
she was
Oh,
giving
yeah,
me
Lil'
Little
Kim.
Kim,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I was
She had a little bit of Beyonce when they showed up at Leviticus.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what
was
we're talking
saying.
about. Yeah,
Little
yeah.
Kim. Yeah.
Gold LeMay suit. Just saying Gold LeMay suit. I'm just gonna say that. gold lame suit.
But as an aside, I am very excited to kind of see what's going to happen with Andre because, like you said, I agree. I think he is the wild card. He is the one to watch. With that being said, we're going to wrap this up for you guys. We're going to go around the table very quickly and reintroduce my amazing co-hosts, starting with Quinn.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Quinn Marie. You can find me on Twitter at QuinnMarie_. Really enjoyed talking about episode 3. You can also find me doing the Flash Recap show. So if you have any questions, please send them to my Twitter.
And again, thanks for watching. I'm Courtney Perdue. You can find me on Twitter at CourtneyPerdue1, on Instagram at Court Perdue. And if you want to hear more of my sassiness and puns, if we want to go there, you can check out my podcast, Not Rich Yet. And please tweet us your questions, #ColliderEmpire. And we'd love to talk to you guys.
Yeah, I'm Jamiah Brown. See you guys next week. Super excited to see what Empire brings for us.
And once again, I'm Tamara Dhia. You can find me across all my social media at Tamara Dhia. You can also see me almost every single day on Complex News. So head over to Complex on YouTube, click subscribe there, and then, of course, click subscribe at Collider Video so you can join us every single week. And if you guys want to take part in our discussion, we really would love you to. So just tweet us. Use the hashtag ColliderEmpire so we can see your tweets, we can answer your questions, and basically get down with some Empire as we do every single week right here, same time, same place.
And it doesn't always have to be on Wednesday. Tweet us whenever.
Yeah. Courtney wants to talk to you.
Why'd you make it sound so creepy?
Sorry.
And I forgot to give you guys my Twitter handler. It's Jamiah_B, just so you guys know. Say hi.
Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us. You can agree with us, not agree with us, tweet us, subscribe, hashtag, all that. See you guys next week. But